So he was confident it's going to happen. It is happening. How confident is he in his ability to hang with Floyd, who's 40 now, but this is his thing. This is in a boxing ring against one of the best boxers of all time.
Here's the one thing I can say about Conor. He has a lot of self-respect, and he is not the kind of guy who is just going to show up for a paycheck. I mean, I can confidently say that. Now, can I tell you what's going to happen? Would I argue with anyone if they say that, Floyd's going to skunk him 12-0 and outbox him? No, I can't. I mean, let's just look at the facts. 49-0, a great amateur career, great Olympic career, potentially the greatest boxer of all time. Not only that, one of the greatest defensive boxers of all time against a guy who doesn't even have an amateur fight as far as boxing is concerned on his record. What's fascinating about this fight is that there's going to be so many hot takes on it for the next 2.5 months. And quite honestly, every single one of them is sort of right. Like, if you want to call this a sham, I can't really argue against that. If you want to say this is fun, I can't really argue against that. If you want to say the $100 price tag, which is what it's probably going to be for pay-per-view, is crazy, I can't argue with that. If you like it, cool. I mean, there's just so many different spectrum of takes on this, and they're all kind of right. So, yeah, it's unheard of. It's unfathomable. The UFC has always been against this sort of thing. They've always resisted co-promotion, especially sending their face to a different sport and letting a different promoter deal with them. But these are different times. The UFC sold for $4.025 billion a year ago, and 2017 hasn't been the best year, and they need to make some money. They're going to probably make more money for this one fight than they have in all their pay-per-views alone in 2017. So they had to get it done, and Conor's timing was impeccable here, allowing them to sort of, loosen up the shackles, because they could have stood in the way of this happening, because they own his fighter rights. He can't go out and fight without them.
Boxing's on life support anyway, but...
No, that is 100% false. Boxing is actually having a better year than MMA. Look at this year alone. They had Anthony Joshua against Vladimir Klitschko, which had 90,000 people at Wembley. Does that sound like a sport that's on life support? They've got Ward Kovalev this weekend. They had Triple G Canelo on September 16th. I'm not even a boxing reporter, but it drives me nuts when I hear people say that it's on life support.
Okay, all right.
It's actually 100% false.
So what about this though? So if boxing is in the midst of we'll even say resurgence, then let's say that. If you are a boxer, if you are someone that is deeply invested and totally believe it's the sweet science and it's underappreciated and all that kind of stuff, are you overly happy that Floyd Mayweather is doing this? Because if Floyd Mayweather loses, all of a sudden, it's, you speak about hot takes. It's, well, every UFC fighter can just beat boxing. Like that's how it is. That'll be the opinion. Is this dangerous?
I don't think you're happy about it, because what Floyd is about to do, if he wins this fight, this is a professional fight. It's not an exhibition. So if Floyd wins this fight, he'll be the first boxer in the history of the sweet science. I mean, we're talking about over 100 years to be 50-0. No one's ever done that. He's now tied with Rocky Marciano, one of the greatest ever, at 49-0. So to think that he will break that record, that is one of the great records in all of sports, fighting a guy who's 0-0, I think if you're a boxing purist, yeah, you'd probably rather see him fight a Triple G. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to see him fight the best. And obviously this isn't the best. This is the brilliance of this fight for Floyd, though, because here you found the guy who's the biggest draw, who will generate the most amount of interest, money, all that stuff and more, and he's also the least experienced. I mean, how lucky is he?
Yeah.
And then on Conor's side, you've got a guy who, in my opinion, has won. Like, June 15th, 2016, the fight is 2.5 months away. I think Conor's already won. The fact that he got to this point, that he baited Mayweather into a fight, Mayweather could fight anyone. He's kind of like a lottery ticket in his own right. That he got him to fight, that he's going to make around $100 million if this goes in the direction that they think it's going to go as far as pay-per-view is concerned, that he let the UFC make this happen.
And he's a built-in excuse, right?
Well, I don't know if it's a built-in excuse, but even if he goes the distance and loses, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, people will say, look, he's never done it before. But honestly, I believe that he is going out to try to win. Whether or not you think that will happen, whether you think it's one-sided, I mean, again, you have every right to say that. But he's going to go and try and win. And look, crazier things have happened in this world. The guy's, Floyd's 40, the other guy's not even 30 yet. Who the hell knows? This is all so crazy.